Hello, and welcome to your update about Bitcoin. So I record this update a little bit earlier today. So it might be that when you watch the video, the microstructures have already shifted a little bit. That's because we have our risk management session today in the membership. So I've got an not unplanned live stream, but a live stream today that we normally don't have on a Saturday. So therefore I record this a little bit earlier. But just want to give you an intraday update. Again, just a reminder for the latest updates. As a gold member, you get them like on the spot. On YouTube, they might be a bit delayed. So that's just because sometimes people get confused when the price has already moved on. But please note that this is the 30-minute chart. I give you an intraday update. Things move quickly in the crypto sector, not so quickly on the weekend. So it should all be fine. The structure hasn't really moved much since the last video, but we've pushed into resistance, a resistance area on the micro level, which might very well be broken. These resistance areas on the smallest time frames, they are very, very fragile and they can easily break. They're just pivots. They're just pivots that tell us, okay, if we move above this, for example, something different might be playing out, okay? And then we need to discuss about what that could be. I would then need to rethink this structure to the downside. If we break above 54,776, technically speaking, the structure could be a bit different, but this is sort of at the moment what I'm tracking. The yellow count remains the preferred interpretation. The market has followed really nicely the micro structures and respected the fib levels really well in the last few days. So we started we started, what was that? Monday the 26th with a 5-wave decline. We had a 3-wave move up in what is a flat correction in a wave 2. It's a so-called running flat where the B wave did overshoot to the downside. A wave up in 3 waves. We had a B wave that did overshoot and the C wave ended below A. That's a so-called running flat. That is a bearish pattern because the B wave did overshoot so much that it already showed us there's a lot of potential on the downside. The bears couldn't wait, okay, but they were not ready yet to start an impulse. They needed that bounce in wave C of 2. Then we had wave 1 to the downside of a larger third wave. We had a wave 2 of a larger third wave. We're now in the midst of a third wave, circle 3 of the larger third wave. And this is all, the stuff that we're tracking at the moment. Then another 4, 5, and so on. And it should take us down to the mid 40K region. That is not, and I just referred to a comment from the previous video, that's not a prediction. So I'm not telling you we will go to 45K. That's the roadmap at the moment based on what the price is doing right now, the most probable pathway, but certain parameters need to be respected. The first resistance area that price needs to respect is here between 54,776 and 54,257. Now a break above it would already cause a reinterpretation of the chart because a wave 4 in a downside impulse shouldn't really break above it. Now there is another upper resistance area, a bit more of an extended one, which is between 55,295 and 56,050. Those are signals. If the market breaks above both of these, something different might be playing out, but I would still want to see a break above the last swing high, which is a formal invalidation point, to consider something more bullish. I showed you in the previous video earlier today that there is, of course, a bullish scenario, and we need to be aware that we're now at a key pivot, okay? And this would be wave 2 in white, but I want to see resistances break to consider that. So that's it. And these resistances, they are of course dynamic. So when the price moves down lower, they will be adjusted. So they change, okay? So what was relevant yesterday isn't relevant today. The current chart always gives us all the answers. So we don't need to look at a TA from like 2 days ago. The resistance levels were different because the price has moved on. So that's very important to understand. So yesterday the market then dipped in the let's say in the main element of a third wave to the downside. And we arrived here around 53,178, which was a key target. Posted yesterday on Twitter, pretty much when that happened, that the market might be a little bit exhausted. It was on Twitter here. It showed already that bounce in wave 4. I'm not going to read out the text. You can do that yourself if you're interested. You can check it out on Twitter. But the idea was from here, we would see that wave 4 bounce, and the idea was that on the weekend we might see a wave 4. Then we should see still another low in wave 5 of circle 3. But as I said, a break above this wave 2 high, and I did put it here into the text. If Bitcoin does rally past 57K, which is the wave 2 high, I need to consider a more bullish scenario, which is here on the chart in white. If you're interested in the greater context, the larger context, feel free to check out the previous video. I covered the daily chart as well. Also, if you're interested in further updates, check out our Twitter profile. What we'll do here on the weekend, let me see if the vote is already finished. I did put it into our newsletter. Yep, the vote is finished now. So every week you can vote here on Twitter for a couple of coins that I'll make a video about, only on Twitter though, not on YouTube. So Dogs 1 and VRA, so these two will be covered this weekend. So if you are interested in them, check out Twitter. I'm now uploading 2 videos every weekend on Twitter, not just one as it was before. Yeah, so you can find additional updates here. Let's go back to BTC chart. So yeah, we are now in the resistance area. Essentially, that's all you need to know. We are now approaching that 50% fib level. The rally is clearly corrective at the moment. So the wave 4, there's no sign it's over. So it could still stretch a little higher. A wave 4 could turn into a triangle. That might happen over the weekend before we go down lower. That is what I would like to see, because it would be the pattern that more clearly indicates downside continuation, like a triangle, characterized by lower highs and higher lows. Whereas a break above 54,776 would be possibly short-term more bullish. Then we have the next resistance area. Then we've got the 57K level. And then if we break it, we have to consider something more bullish. But it will depend on the structure. How do we break above it? How? Is it a 5-wave move or is it only a 3-wave move? Only a 5-wave move above resistance will indicate that something more bullish is going on. I mean, this is not yet clearly bullish. Okay, we have a low resistance and the rally seems to be corrective. But there's also no sign it's over. I would pay attention to 54,776 next. And then 55,295 and 56,050. And I'd be a bit, well, I shouldn't say surprised, but I'd be impressed if the bears can drive the price lower on the weekend. Normally things like that don't happen on Saturday, but we'll see. Normally the price doesn't make massive progress on weekends. What was the price action last weekend? Let me just double check actually what happened. Not much. It was just sort of moving down. Oh yeah, last weekend we moved down a little bit lower, which was not unexpected at the time. So I think last weekend we were exploring if already the wave 2 had topped here, but it didn't go down impulsively, right? So, but it didn't change anything. You see, just a relabeling doesn't really change the trend. So yeah, therefore, a break above initial micro resistance wouldn't really be meaningful. That's the update about Bitcoin. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.